Brainiac Corporation. Just another day. From all over the country, a crack team of the finest minds arrive at their base.
Morning.
Their mission, to push back the boundaries of scientific knowledge.
Mate.
So come on in, step inside with us, but prepare yourself for a bumpy ride as we embark on the worst excesses that are Brainiac Science Abuse.
Welcome to Brainiac, the show that does for science what a naked flame does for a petrol station forecourt. The big science tonight. We take on the world's best at darts, Brainiac style. Testing to destruction, microwaves and washing machines. Answering the big ones down at the warehouse. Burning through our cash with the help of thermite. And, quiet please, more splintering caravans on the 18th green. But first... can you make a cake whilst being electrocuted? Annabelle Burgess has been making cakes at her local bakery for 10 years. Well known for her party offerings and celebratory gâteaux, how good will she be if we treat her to some electricity? Attach her to this low-amp 9-volt electrical equipment and we're sure to find out. Successful cake making is, of course, all about ingredients. The right amounts at the right time, mixed in the right way. However, eggs are probably not quite the thing to be holding when you're plugged into the mains. And it's generally agreed in cake-making circles that it's best to only add the wobbly part of the egg to the bowl. Something Annabelle seems to have forgotten in the excitement. Flour, too, should really end up in the bowl for the cake to rise. And it's the same, really, for chocolate chips. Less tasty outside the cake. The whole hygiene thing also seems to have gone by the wayside when the electricity surges. Kicking the bowl around the floor, not considered best practice. Extra hazard too at the milk stage. The muscle tightening effect very evident. And when it's baked and cooled, the decoration of the cake follows a predictable pattern. Less artwork than scribble when the current is surging. It really is the icing on the cake, the proof of the pudding. Making a cake is much harder when you're being electrocuted.
Here's one for you. Can you cry underwater?
The swing, invented by man for one purpose and one purpose only. So it can swing really high and impress his mates. It's true, and we all know the fact is, the higher you swing, the harder you are. Well, today, Brainiac is going for the ultimate in swing showing off, the holy grail, if you like, of swinging. We've all heard the legends, but we're going to do it for real, because today we're going for the full 360. One swing. One test pilot, a mannequin tightly secured to the seat, and a couple of strapping Brainiacs to provide the push. Now to get this whole thing doing a full 360. On you go then. This is a technique called the Uber push. Two Brainiacs simultaneously throw their combined weight into a series of double-strength thrusts. This isn't going to work, is it? Enough messing around with pushing. It's time to start thinking propulsion. As all Brainiacs know, when tackling complex scientific problems such as this one, you can't go far wrong with a fire extinguisher and a little help from our friend gravity. Now, this is a high-tech approach. We're going to use two different forces to hopefully get enough power to to make 360-degree swinging history. Firstly, gravity, because our mannequin on the swing will be released from this great height up there. Secondly, and this is genius, we're going to use rocket power. Note the fire extinguisher rocket pack attached to the back of the mannequin. That will be fired partway through the swing and hopefully generate enough blast to go over the top and do the full 360. I must stress, we've only got one shot at this, so good luck everyone. Let's do it. Here goes then. Ah, not quite. In fact, not at all. Oh dear. You know, I had such high expectations for that, and it really was a damp squib. Our rocket power just wasn't enough. I think the theory is right. What we're lacking is force. We need more force. This is a stock car, specially designed to smash into things with great force. Basically, I'm going to batter that swing round 360 degrees. It's an unconventional way to push a swing, but needs must. This could be the 360-degree swing we're after. Here we go, here we go, here we go! It worked! There it is, you saw it first here. The 360-degree swing. Never in the scope of human achievement will you witness something so powerful, yet so beautiful. There you go. It can be done. The stuff of legend, the 360-degree swing. All you need is a bit of creative scientific thinking. And of course, a stock car. Stop. The following experiment is dangerous. Do not try this at home. No, really. Don't. Liquid nitrogen has a boiling point of 196 degrees Celsius. When it heats up, it turns from a liquid to a gas extremely quickly. This gas takes up 1,000 times more space than the liquid equivalent, causing a violent, destructive explosion. We do these experiments so you don't have to. Do not try this at home. Another big question down at the lab. Jam, honey, syrup, peanut butter. Which of them is Britain's stickiest spread? 4 spreads, so 4 Brainiacs. 3 bronze bodies and 1 Englishman.
Lie down, please.
Apply the slices to the flesh, business side down, of course. 2 on the upper body, 1 each on the legs. These sandwich spreads are notorious for spreading their stickiness around the house, but which is the worst offender?
And press.
In this test, the last to stay attached wins the title. Each one must be adhered with the same careful measurement of pressure.
Stand up, please.
Now it's crunch time, or more accurately, sticky time. 1 faller already, but it's the last piece to stay attached that wins the title. A gentle workout should sort the men from the boys. And it's not long before Jam Boy is down to his last slice. A vigorous selection of star jumps soon puts paid to that piece, and he goes first. Honey Lad and Syrup Boy are now neck and neck. Similar gloop, it was always going to be close between them. And it's the honey, the pancake's friend that falls next. Perhaps chalky flesh is naturally non-sticky. Peanut butter versus syrup. If it was the roof of the mouth, there'd be no dispute, but...
That's it. The stickiest preserve is syrup.
Yeah! Yeah! There you go, then. Syrup, truly Britain's stickiest spread. Yeah!
Hi, I'm Wendy Peters and you're watching Brainiac. Gosh, this is weird. I've sung a list for years. Chesney!
Will it fizz or will it bang? The regular chemistry conundrum as posed by Dr. John P. Kilcoyne, Principal Lecturer at the University of Sunderland. So, what chemicals has Dr. Kilcoyne got in his shed today?
Ammonium dichromate. Heat. Will it fizz or will it bang?
We'll be giving you the answer shortly. Earlier, Dr. John Kilcoyne of the University of Sunderland posed the question, ammonium dichromate and heat. Will it fizz or will it bang? The answer? It fizzes. The application of heat to orange dichromate reduces it to its green chromium form, whilst the ammonium ion is oxidized to water and nitrogen gas, a process which causes it to fizz violently.
What a great fizz!
Nice one, Doc.
Dear John, a man down the pub told me this bizarre fact. Apparently, if you dip someone's hand in a bucket of warm water whilst they're asleep, it makes them wet the bed. Is this true? I'd love to know, but the wife won't let me try. Cheers, Jeff Caldwell from Bodmin. Jeff, you're an extremely strange man, but I'll give it a go.
The hand in a bucket of water trick is a popular stag night legend. You know how it goes. Groom passes out, supposed friends get said bucket of water, put his hand in it, and well, it's all very funny. The problem is that we don't really know if it's true. Oh, sure, we've all met somebody who knows somebody else who's apparently done it, but it doesn't seem as though anybody's actually done it for themselves.
Until now. Because tonight I'm going to confirm or deny the bucket of warm water theory in a real-life experiment. While I'm asleep, two Brainiacs will prepare a bucket of water, taking care to make sure it's nice and warm. It needs to be at skin temperature, which is about 32 to 35 degrees Celsius. That way, I won't notice a big change in temperature and I'll stay sound asleep. Once the Brainiacs are happy the water's just right, they'll sneak into my room and gently place my hand in the water. Now I guess we'll see what happens. Personally, I hope it's a load of old rubbish, but I suppose I am biased. I haven't wet the bed. Look. It's a wee free zone. Great result as far as I'm concerned. And just to prove it, look at that, dry as a bone. So there you go, Jeff from Bodmin. Putting someone's hand in a bucket of warm water while they sleep doesn't make them wet the bed.
47-second science. Big science questions answered in bite-sized chunks. Can you lose weight in a lift? A Brainiac, a set of scales and an elevator will find out. Going down then, but will a weight drop too? When the lift is stationary, this Brainiac weighs in at 9.5 stone. Going through the floors, the scales tell the tale. As the lift plummets, her weight goes down to 8.5 stone. But then, decelerating to the ground floor, it starts to go back up and past her normal weight all the way to 10.5 stone. So yes, you can lose weight when you go down in a lift, but you do put on a stone when you land. So go on then, Brainiac, get back to your diet. Which is Britain's noisiest food? One bag of noisy snacks and a hungry Brainiac. Now all we need is somewhere nice and quiet to make some noise. And there's nowhere quieter than a church. A perfect place then. First up, the gourmet chip. This designer crisp has been slowly roasted for added rigidity and maximum crunch. The sound level is recorded by a decibelometer, and the score, 74.8 decibels, which is as loud as a power lawnmower, so pretty noisy. Now, celery. It's the water packed into this rowdy vegetable that gives it its distinctive tone. And it comes in at a whopping 84.8 decibels. That's the volume of motorway traffic. A worthy leader. Last to go, the boiled sweet. This solid lump of crystallised sugar even makes a racket getting out of the wrapper. 84.8 to beat. It crunches in at 74.1 decibels, no louder than a flushing toilet. And bottom of our three. So the winner, and officially Britain's noisiest food, is celery. Well, nobody said it tasted good. Laser shooting games, a fun way to enjoy half an hour with friends, or a deadly battle where winning is the only way. For Brainiacs, the fun is never just about taking part. So here are the 5 top tips for winning at laser games. Number 1, always be a moving target. Stand still in this game, you're a loser and you're dead. The scoring system means you can lose as much by being hit as you'll gain from hitting others. It's a feature most people forget. But remember, if you keep moving, you stay less dead. Tip 2, stop, park and tuck. Running around wildly is not the only way. Find a spot and snuggle down. If you tuck up your knees, you can obscure your target and get some good free shots. Rack up some points and move on. Coming in at 3, take that target. Remember, pack some thick tape before you go in. All's fair in love and war, so cover those lights and you can pick up lots of free points, while everyone else wanders and wonders why they didn't do it. Number 4, always play the percentages. This game is not only about getting the most hits, your score is calculated as a percentage of successful strikes. Fire too many blanks and those misses drag down your ratio. And finally, tip number 5, pack a pen. A laser pen, of course. Add one of these babies to your armoury and suddenly you're packing twice the heat. The double-barreled approach can yield huge rewards. So there you are then, the 5 guaranteed ways to win. Jot them down, arm yourself up, and you too can stay top of the tree at laser games. When you buy a washing machine, they tell you not to mix your coloured clothes with your white. Bit obvious, don't you think? But there are other things you shouldn't do, and they don't tell you about them. Washing machines. Every home should have one, but they are possibly the most dangerous of all the white goods. Back-breakingly heavy to carry, packed full of moving parts, water running close to electricity. You could say these machines are an accident waiting to happen. Potassium is an alkali metal. It's kept in oil because it's not really that keen on water. In fact, it tends to get agitated when it makes even the slightest contact with the wet. Bearing that in mind, it beggars belief that no one has thought fit to warn buyers of washing machines how dangerous it is to drop an alkali metal, like potassium, into their new device. Fortunately, Brainiac is here as a public service to field that risk for you. When the machine is switched on, water flows into the drum and straight on to the potassium. With no means of escape, the reaction is explosive. Explosive and fiery. It serves as a warning. Do not put alkali metals like potassium into your washing machine. And of course, Do not try this at home.
I can do science, me.
Science you want done. You write to us and we'll give you the tools for the job. This week we're in Chelmsford grabbing clay pigeon shooter Colin Jobbins. If you're lucky enough to be selected, then you too could be picked up in style by the Brainiac team and chauffeur-driven to our top-secret, state-of-the-art research laboratory. Get your thinking caps on and your ideas into us. Who knows, we might just pick you. It's I Can Do Science, Me, with Charlotte Hudson.
Yeah, window envelope, very posh. Dear Brainiac, can you tell me how small would a room be to be able to swing a cat in it? I have no idea. Go on then, give him a cat.
Accurate room measurements are important, as every carpet fitter will tell you when they run out of your roll halfway through the job. Now we will know the answer, to the square inch. It will be our gift to the nation. Standing in the middle of a notional room, the maximum diameter will be achieved when the cat no longer hits. Trial and error, the only way. A real animal might have run off by now. Not, of course, that you should try it, even if it would let you. Swinging freely, that's 2 walls done. Round they go. Swinging a cat is believed to refer to the cat o' nine tails, the whip used for punishment on board ship. If only someone had told Colin Jobbins, it might have saved us all this grief. But now he started, let's at least get a result. He's got his maximum lengths, it's down to 4 chalk lines, a simple measurement and a basic sum. Important to get this one right. Estate agents have been sued for less.
Exactly 2.5 metres. Yep, 2.5 metres.
His name is Colin Jobbins. He wanted to know the size of the smallest room you can swing a cat in. The answer? 2.5 metres be 2.5 metres.
I can do science, me.
Every week, the Brainiac office is inundated with your emails about thermite. We've shown you how it can eat through steel, make ice explode, even burn inside liquid nitrogen. But it seems you're still not satisfied. Here's another request, this one from John Joe Sorensen, aged 11, from Holmes Chapel.
There's this stuff called thermite that eats through metal like alien blood. Why don't you try putting it on a big safe full of £10 notes and see how many pounds it burns through?
Eat through a safe, eh? That sounds like quite a challenge, but banknotes, they're a bit easy to burn. So how about instead of easy-to-burn banknotes, we use hard-to-burn coins? This is thermite. It's a powdered mixture of iron oxide and aluminium, which burns at 2,500 degrees Celsius, which is very, very hot. This is a safe, normally used to protect the jewels of the rich and famous. Today, it's protecting £1.74 in Brainiac loose change. Packed into the slow-release mechanism of a garden flower pot, the thermite is ready for action. This 2-inch thick steel box is fireproof, bomb-proof, even earthquake-proof. But is it thermite-proof? Just light the touch paper, and off we go. The reaction begins. A concentrated eruption of molten metal lays siege to the safe's outer skin. The white-hot thermite eats its way through the safe's 2 inches of steel protection before flooding inside and blowing open the doors in an outrush of superheated air. Clearly, no safe is safe around thermite, and neither are its contents. The Brainiac's £1.74, now a worthless blob of hot metal. But hey, money well spent. So there you go, John Joe. Thermite. Perhaps not the best way of robbing a safe, but spectacular. Hold on. David Beckham is better than me at football. I know, it's just something I'm going to have to accept. But exactly how much better? Twice as good as me? 3 times? 4 times? Top sportsmen and women are very good at what they do. But exactly how good? Brainiacs and vigorous exercise are unhappy bedfellows at the best of times. That's why when sport is on the agenda, it is to the more gentle pursuits they inevitably turn.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dart Boy, Brainiac!
Like darts. As a toddler, he beat his mum chucking Velcro-tipped arrows at a kiddie's board. Now he's ready for the game of his life.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Lakeside World Professional Champion, Andy the Viking Fordham!
Let's get it on.
It's Brainiac to throw first.
So, it's Brainiac representing every ordinary darts player.
44.
Versus the former world champion representing God.
140!
In a straight game of 301 darts fly. Fordham's mostly heading dead on target. It would be quite a turn-up if this gimp beat the world's best.
Yes! Game! Shot!
And he doesn't. So, how to even things up? A fresh game and a new plan. And a new board. How well will the big guy do if he has to play our champ aiming at a target half the normal size? Is he twice as good as us?
Brainiac to throw first.
The Brainiac is still rubbish at the normal size board. But Fordham faces a handicap now.
140!
But not much of a handicap. It seems that the champ is just as good on a half-size board.
Yes! Game to the Viking!
New plan. It seems the world champ is at least twice as good as our average dartman. But we can fix that. A double-sized board for the Brainiac. Fordham will stay on his small one. He can't be 4 times better than us. A victory is a shoo-in.
Right, in our third match, Brainiac to throw first. Game on!
Confident then, till the first dart flies. This big board might just as well be a barn door. Hitting it, still a problem. And more trebles from the world champ. He seems to be almost as good on a half-size board as a normal one. And our man's still rubbish, whatever he throws at.
30.
The big guy wins in just 11 magical darts. He's at least 4 times better then. A problem like this needs a radical solution. Big, bigger, biggest. Now we'll see who's Mr. Hot Shot.
Brainiac to throw first. Game on.
Even a donkey couldn't miss this board. And the Brainiac delivers. Good start. Fordham still has to hit the titchy board. And still rather well. If Fordham wins this game, he'd be a staggering 8 times better than the average pub player. Rather unlikely. Unlikely, but he is. He canters to a finish with darts to spare. It's all looking a bit grim. We've run out of silly-sized boards. Is it all over? One last go.
Brainiac to throw first. Game on.
Come on, Brainiac!
Come on, come on.
Come on.
Brainiac is going to throw from 3'6".
Twice as close then. 4 times bigger the board, Fordham playing on a half-size board. The advantage now 16 times. The odds well and truly evened.
For the title.
It's the conclusion. But can Dart Boy hold his nerve? First dart, no good.
20 scored, needing double 10.
Steady, boy. Breathe.
Double 10. Yes! And the match to Brainiac!
A win! A spectacular elbow-bending, arrow-flying gem of a win. We are the rulers now. The celebrations ring out into the night as Brainiacs carry off their new champion. Handicap darts, Olympics, here we come.
Granny Brainiac, homespun science from the nation's favourite old dear.
Oh no, Granny! I spilt grease on my shirt.
Don't worry, dear. I'll fix it.
Getting grease on your favourite T-shirt can be a bit of a nightmare. But Granny knows how to fix it. A little squeeze of lemon will break down the oils and clean the stain in no time. However, Granny needs a lot more. But don't worry, we can lend a helping hand.
Here you go, Granny.
A bucketful should soon fix the problem. Yes, that should do it.
Thanks, Granny. Good as new.
Oh, yes. Granny knows best.
She certainly does. Homespun science from the nation's favourite old dear.
Will it break or will it bounce? The big question answered by Professor Myang Lee and her 10-foot drop. Today's object, a full tea set. So, will it break or will it bounce? Stay tuned for the answer. We asked, will a full tea set break or will it bounce? The answer? A full tea set breaks into lots of pieces. Thought it might. Thanks, Prof.
Has it ever seemed strange to you that no matter what kind of fast food you order, the delivery time is always 30 to 40 minutes? How can that be? How can a crispy aromatic duck take the same time as a pizza? Surely some foods must be faster than others. But which is the fastest?
You know, when it comes to fast food, we're not interested in cooking or eating or even delivery times. What we want to know about is which food travels the fastest if you chuck it really hard.
And these are our contenders. Fish and chips, pizza, and of course, curry. And our chucker, an air mortar. It delivers a belt of pressurised air hard up the bum of anything in its way. At 150 pounds per square inch, this nosh is really going to travel.
When the food is lobbed, this Brainiac will start this stopwatch. The air mortar will then fire the food over there towards that Brainiac, eventually hitting him, causing him to shout, "Ow." When this Brainiac hears that Brainiac shout, "Ow," he stops the stopwatch. There you go. The shortest time between the lob and the ow is the fastest food. Simple and elegant. First up, fish and chips. Now, the fish might well break up, but the chips could well act like little bullets. Obviously, nobody would ever have fish and chips without ketchup, so if this is to be in any way scientifically rigorous, we must include it. OK, we're all set. If we're ready, please. 3, 2, 1, go. Ow! Good, how long was that?
2.8 seconds.
Excellent, very nice.
Not bad for starters then. Fish and chips set the mark to beat at 2.8 seconds.
OK, our second fast food, the pizza, shaped just like a frisbee, therefore ideal for air transportation. Black pepper, thank you. That'll do. OK, if we're set. 3, 2, 1, fire. Ow. OK, that looked good. What was the time?
3.1 seconds.
That was slower. Very good.
So the pizza didn't live up to its promise, posting a wretched 3.1 seconds. Limp.
And finally, chicken curry with rice, a Friday night familiar favourite. Pop it on. Thank you. Chutney. Thank you. There we go. Let's do this. OK. 3, 2, 1, fire. Ow! Very, very good. What was the time?
2.4 seconds.
Fantastic. We have a winner.
Pick the pieces out of that one then. Chicken curry posting the top time of 2.4 seconds. Well done, that dish.
So the results of our experiment are pretty conclusive. Britain's fastest fast food is officially the curry. Pop it on. There you go.
Yes, the mistress of Motown is back for more. The legendary singer who likes nothing more than turning old bangers into big bangs. She's always guaranteed a warm reception, is our Diana. The crowd well aware that this performance is bound to end in flames. Dressed for destruction, Diana emerges to greet her adoring retinue. A red carpet reception, the only way to greet a superstar of her magnitude. Now there's business to be done. The explosion of this car by means of a chain reaction. As ever, Diana is careful to check that everything is in place. Her team have set all the props, and the special ingredient in the setup this week, a bottle filled with the finest Sambuca. 37% proof, 100% flammable. And like her famous predecessor, Diana relies on her old-school Bunsen burner to do the job. It served her well through years of chemistry lessons. Now it fulfills its final destiny. Diana takes the scissors from her team to cut the primed rope and release the bottle. The flammable liquor flows freely down the guttering to meet the waiting burner. Bursting into fiery life, it will only be a few seconds before the flowing flame meets up with the fast detonation core. They join as planned, and it sends the spark of ignition to the waiting motor. And up it goes. And indeed, up she goes, sending the soulful legend off into her favourite song. The biggest bangs, Diana Ross and her chain reaction.
Blondes have more fun. Do they?
Three blondes, three non-blondes, a random sample snatched from the streets. They're all in for a bit of fun down at the lab. The question is, who's going to appreciate more the entertainment we've laid on? We've spent no expense selecting the more fun-loving types for this experiment, and we've also stinted a little on the entertainment budget. Let's just hope we can raise at least a measurable smile or two.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the magical Phil Walker.
Hi guys, I'm Phil. I'm just going to do a little bit of close-up magic for you. Show you a little bit of weird things.
Measuring relative levels of enjoyment is a complex process. Fortunately, we have a chart. These three will record everything that moves, from tiny grin to mighty guffaw. A comparison of the scores will tell us whether blondes really do have more fun. A rather limp balloon-swallowing routine produces little in the way of reaction. Not much from any of the blondes. The non-blonde's smile seems to be more of pity than pleasure. She'll get marked down for that. However, a sharp display of sleight of hand work does generate more merriment all round. The enthusiasm not, however, shared by the entire room. Blonde hair in either sex is a sign of fertility. That's why the feature is attractive to the opposite sex. Being attractive promotes feeling of worth, well-being and optimism. Ergo, blondes might well tend to have more fun. The magical Phil Walker is done. He generated one or two displays of pleasure, but actions, as they say, speak louder than words.
Now would you please welcome Pete?
Maybe there'll be more unbridled hilarity for our mime artist. Or maybe not. Pete the mime goes down like a cup of cold sick, but then he's used to deafening silence. As mimes go, they rather wish he would, but there is the odd limp grin to trouble the scorers. A few smirks, plenty of other reactions, but no belly laughs. Mercifully, Pete's performance drags sluggishly to a close. A few moments for everyone to recover from Pete's effort, while the scorers add up the tally.
And the results are... yes, blondes do have more fun.
So there it is then. The lesson, want a good time? Get your hair bleached.
Here's one for you. Why does the sun lighten our hair but darken our skin?
The lad on the left is John. The lass on the right is Jane. So far on Lad versus Lass, it's 2-1 to the lasses, thanks to Jane's superior skills of colour differentiation and staring. And today we're testing whether it's better to be a lad or a lass at identifying smells. John and Jane are going to take turns to identify 3 smells each. Whoever has the most correct answers wins. Let's start with an easy one. Any self-respecting lad should know this smell.
Kebab.
Correct. Let's see if our lass is as familiar with this smell.
Cheese.
She is. Time for something a little more tricky. A freshly bottled fart.
A petrol can.
What can I say? No. For Jane, a beaker of wee. According to science, she should get this because the female hormones estrogen and progesterone are known to sharpen the nose's ability.
Vinegar?
Most of the time. Ah, sour milk. Now this is an unmistakable smell.
Emulsion.
Next. So it's rotten eggs for victory.
Sweaty armpits.
Not even close. So it's a tie-break situation. One smelly object first to shout out the correct answer wins. And this time, our lad and lass will have to wear earmuffs too, because this smell also makes sound. It's a wet dog.
Dog.
Which makes her a winner. So when it comes to detecting smells, lasses are better, or at least less pathetic, than lads.
I'm Jeff Fraser and we're watching Brainiac, you maniac.
Drill broken? Don't worry, make your own. Take one standard household carrot, insert it into your handy bazooka, stuff it in tightly, and add the magic ingredient, a squirt of the finest rocket fuel. That should do the trick, and away you go. Steady does it. Aim up my laser guidance system, and boom! One finely drilled hole. Great! Who needs drills?
Hello and a big welcome to the competition that's been gripping the nation, Pro Celebrity Brainiac Golf. It's top professional Jamie Spence taking on weekend hacker Brainiac. Bit different this game though. We've got 8 caravans, each filled with a bomb and a different chemical. This week it's potassium chlorate. When the ball goes in the hole, it sets off the fuse wire which travels up the flag and along to the caravan, setting off a huge explosion and a different colour flame depending on the chemical. So it's Jamie's honour. He's facing a very tricky 20-footer. It's important to get the pace right on this one. No, it just held up. Now Brainiac's in with a chance now, and Jamie knows it. He's left the door open all right. Oh, and now he's closed it. Surely that can't be allowed. No time to argue over the finer points though, not with a bomb-primed caravan ready to blow. A rapid exit, the order of the day for everyone involved. Fizzing to a finish, the fuse wire meets the waiting mobile home and up she goes in a blaze of melamine-busting glory. Potassium is a highly reactive chemical and has a melting point of just over 63 degrees Celsius. The 8th most abundant element on Earth, potassium chlorate is mostly used in fertilizers and burns with a very elegant lilac flame. A very enjoyable chemical, providing a very enjoyable conclusion to another game of Brainiac Golf.